states where state of emergency is declared, South-South governors took a stand, and the Edo State is part of South-South. But one of them is saying, I'm not with you, not for now, at least. I mean, during the governor of Bayelsa is the leader of the forum. You know, they've come together to say, no, restore Fubara back to his position, because Section 305 of the Constitution needs to be implemented in such a way that what could give rise to state of emergency is either there is war, there is external aggression, there is an imminent invasion, or total breakdown of law and order. And none of this, it was in Rivers State before the state of emergency was declared. Yet, a governor, Governor Okpebholo from Edo State, saying, I'm not with you. I was neither consulted nor informed. What is your take, Kingsley?
You know, that's my state. I'm always...
Yes, that's why did you stay away from other governors?
Well, you know, we normally say that evil goes on in society when good people fold their hands and do nothing. Sometimes they think it will not get to them, but one day it's going to get to them. This is a time that, let me speak generally first, that I think all governors in this country, whether it's PDP, APC, should come together and criticize what's happening now.
Yeah, it was on record that one of the northern governor called
Fubara.
No, not Fubara, from Borno State governor called his legislators, his lawmakers, that they should not vote in support of it.
This is the time that everybody should stand up against this tyrannical rule by the president. Now, for the governor of Edo State to do what he has done at this moment is very appalling. It's uncalled for. He should have joined with the governors in the South-South. And he may not even talk, but he gave his reason. But I don't think his reasons are cogent enough to what he has done right now. And he's very sad about what he's done.
Okay, a very good introduction. Philip, you think Okpebholo is in a survival mode? Because his own his mandate is still in court.
Dicey. You have answered the question. You know, Okpebholo, the way he came into power is known to everyone. And to think that the tribunal has adjourned for the judgment of his case, whether to be or not to be, that is being a governor or not. Okpebholo had no other choice than to do what he did. You know, Okpebholo has been very, very interesting since he has assumed the office of the governor of Edo State. He's always in the news in the wrong reason all the time. Like he said, if Okpebholo is trying to protect his office and is in survival mode, the best to do is to keep quiet and not to speak. You know, he has infuriated the angers of the masses, especially the people from the South-South, which Edo State is part and parcel of, to say that, yes, Tinubu, he's even went further to say that Tinubu know what he's doing.
Yes.
So that he can handle
that what he has done to restore the peace to this point that is okay.
It's okay. So, well, is that the way to go? Like he said, you know, what happened today in my house might not happen. You might feel it might not get to you. Yeah. But tomorrow it could be your turn.
As a matter of fact, let me put this to you, Kingsley. If it wasn't Asiwaju that was, or that is our president at this moment, at this time, what Obasa and Co were doing, removing Obasa and bringing Obasa back, any president from another region could have declared state of emergency in Lagos.
In fact, somebody has quoted it, that a northern president will come one day and declare a state of emergency in Lagos. So they will know what it feels like. And this is what I said from the beginning, that we should not entertain this thing that is happening.
Because one day
it's going to spiral bound and go every other place. And I also said, if you give the president the authority and power to do what he has done, coming 2027 election is going to do worse.
Okay, let's put it this way. Jonathan had, in the past, I think in 3 states, declared state of emergency. None of those governors were suspended.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, a lot of people felt those state of emergency were necessary because Boko Haram, which is, there's aggression,
Let me tell
non-enemy.
Let me tell you what he did.
Who is the non-enemy in Rivers?
He called the governors of these 3 states. That's Adamawa, Borno, and which other state? Now, one of these neighboring states. He called them. They entered into a meeting before it was done during Jonathan's era. Now, in this particular
and there was a non-enemy as at that time, Boko Haram.
Which was Boko Haram.
Who is the enemy army?
That was threatening the territorial integrity of Nigeria. They hoisted their flags in so many local government. I think at that time they said 27. So it was they needed help. But you see, what they said is that let the governor stay back a little and let the military take over. That's a military kind of rule. Do you understand? Where orders will not be taken from the legislature.
What more can the South governors do in this case? Well, not because Okpebholo is not with them. I mean, the remaining ones can still do a lot. What more can they do?
I think the South governor had taken the right step in the right direction. First, they had met and they have reached a decision, and a communique has been signed, and urging the president to rescind his decision, and that there is nothing that will warrant the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State because there's no external aggression, there's no breakdown of law, public law and order, and that everything is normal. But they've also advised all stakeholders to remain calm. I think what they should do next, because you said what else would they do next? I think they should not end by just issuing a statement.
Yes.
They should take a step further to visit the president and make the president see reason why their region should not be used as a test case.
After fighting for democracy, you are giving us a military rule.
Because the truth remains that in the South is a very volatile area, because, like I said in this platform, the crude oil is coming from the South, and the creeks are very dangerous. If the president is not careful, the South governor knows that it will snowball and it will swallow.
That snowball is even where I'm coming from. What they are citing in Rivers is that there was explosion. There was this.
The blowing up
of the pipeline and all that. There was also a blowing up of pipeline in Bayelsa. It happened. So, is the president going to Bayelsa?
Did they do any investigation to find out it was connected to the political situation in Rivers? They didn't. There's no judgment of that to see.
Yeah. So in addition, if you ask me, have they ascertained who blew up
the pipeline?
Is it not possible the federal government and the wicked
are the one that blew up the pipeline
to create justification
to ignite this notion?
Because there was peace in Rivers.
So because don't forget, Wike also said that the blowing up of the pipeline is not sacrosanct to
that is not only job people that
anybody can do
so
it.
that anybody can
who is
do
not
it.
a militant?
So
the
truth remains. That's why I said the South governor need to do more, because if you blow oil pipeline in Rivers, you blow in Bayelsa, you blow in Delta, you blow in Okpebholo. I mean, the federal government should be careful, because that's the only source of revenue. It will deplete
the solid minerals and the north at this time
pocket of private people.
So if
when Oshomole made a statement that the generals were behind, or retired generals were behind the excavation or
bunkering and all this stuff.
Of the
solid minerals.
Who said anything? One of bunkering that who did anything? Instead of them to do something about it, I'm really sorry for Okpebholo, the line he has taken. He said this is not loyalty at all.
But
loyalty is to the people.
But could there be a better way, apart from keeping quiet like he has said?
I thought, to me, if he wants to play the real political side of it, he should have just kept quiet. Not even sending his chief press secretary to come and say, I'm not a part. I mean, silence, everybody just keep silent.
Chief or chief? I thought you said cheap press secretary. I'm not with you.
The thing remains that Okpebholo, we know, we've seen how the APC in the last 12 years, do their things both at the field and in the court of law. Okpebholo is a beneficiary of some of this art, and there's still more, hurdles to cross for it to be full beneficiary.
That's right.
So he need to do the needful, as it were, to retain his
and align.
Because
full
if Okpebholo said this with the SARSAT, it is assumed that it's not assumed the judiciary is a section of the executive. They will just call that tomorrow, give the judgment.
But let me ask you.
Yes.
If any of these other governors,
yes,
whose mandates are fully, in their hands,
operational,
if any of them,
yes,
is in position of Okpebholo, do you think they would have acted differently?
Yes, wisdom would have guided them to act differently.
Look at all of them.
Yes, I think so.
They would have
for example,
politicians want to survive.
Yes, even as at that, we all know that Oboriwori is not against the president. He has told us on a public meeting that anywhere the president go, I go. He has said it. He said, I will do everything the president.
He said it's God that brought the president. It's also God that brought him,
and that he will support the president. But in this case, and all of them are going for re-election, as much as the president is going for re-election. And we know the past of the governors in re-election. So what we are trying to say, Okpebholo was not wise, or he should do things in a more wiser way than what he's doing right now. And that I will advise him that instead of him to say what he has said, he should have just kept quiet and let us slide. Now, don't forget also, we have senators from the South. We have House of Rep member from South. Have you heard of Shomole's voice? I am very sure, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm very sure Shomole doesn't want this kind of emergency rule in Niger Delta.
Well, you can't be too sure, but let's watch. After the National Assembly, which is the institution he serves today.
Yes. Yeah. We all know what happened.
So
they were struggling to have from a quorum.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's so now. We were talking about litigation the last time. Fubara probably taking this matter to court, challenging it. Let Nigerians be sure whether Supreme Court will throw this thing away again.
I said something. I said it should not be a case of Fubara alone.
No, but
even the South
I agree.
Even the South
I'm coming. When the court wants to dismiss something, they begin to talk on local standing, blah blah blah. Fubara is involved in this matter directly or indirectly. Anybody can swear.
The governors too are involved in the matter.
Yes, I get.
The governors that have made a statement in the South can as well take the matter as well.
I agree, but let's not remove Fubara. He is a direct beneficiary of this process.
It's not his personal house.
It's not, but he was the one that is removed.
He represents a people.
I agree. The people should come together with him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But Fubara has to still be there.
No,
everybody is to be restored.
Fubara and the elders of Rivers State.
Yes,
should stand.
You would but Fubara, you can't remove Fubara from the equation.
Of course, definitely.
Does the other governors have the stand to also take this matter to court?
I don't think they do, because you've said it all. What is their locus? How have they been injured? The court is a court of justice.
Yes.
So when you have emphasized that it must be Fubara, yes, that would be a ground for you to approach the court, because you were elected to govern the people of Rivers State for 4 years. The people willingly gave you their mandate, and it's been truncated. What has happened to the South government?
Other governors were not removed.
Let me tell you why I think the governors generally, not just only the South governor, the governors has a locus. Now, the office of the governor is under election. The people voted.
We don't have time for this long explanation.
Okay, the people voted and they came to power. And now, if you just by executive order or whatever it is, sign that I should be removed.
Certainly, there's going to be a litigation. If we're going to go to court, certainly Fubara has to be there.
No, definitely Fubara has to be there. But the governor also should seek for an interpretation.
No, anybody can go to court. Nobody's a master. You can go to court. Exactly. But the question is, you going to court will restore Fubara.
No.
So we want Fubara to be restored.
But we don't also want it to continue. No, we're not only fighting for Fubara.
Certainly, we're not fighting for Fubara. But the fight for Fubara in this case is a fight for all. What do you think? Just 30 seconds.
The truth remains that the South governor had done what is right. They should continue to mount pressure on the president to rescind his decision. And if by virtue Fubara goes to court, they should fight to be joined as party to that suit, so that when the decision comes, they can benefit from
directly.
It. So I think that is the way they should go.
Okay, the governors should continue the fight. We all fought military so hard to have democracy I mean, now loving the military to help us in democracy, we don't have that.
To me, this is
we don't have that appetite.
This is a core. We want to encourage it.
We do not have that appetite because I wasn't too young that time. People like MKO Abiola, no matter how you look at it, he died for democracy. So a lot of people died for democracy. No portion of Nigeria should be denied democracy. Democracy, like I've always said, it's not when they put street like they say dividend of democracy. That's not dividend of democracy.
The right to speak.
The right to speak, the freedom. China is not a democratic nation, but they are prosperous. So the dividend of democracy is not tying road, it's not street. You can do all that without democracy. So the freedom to speak, like we are enjoying right here, it should happen in reverse. I think that's going to be our take for now. This is News Insights. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.